Pippa Middleton to follow in sister's footsteps with new aristocratic title. Pippa Middleton is set to follow in the footsteps of her sister, Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, with a new aristocratic title. Pippa Middleton and her husband James Matthews have reportedly named their newborn daughter Rose, having welcomed their third child earlier this summer. The younger Middleton followed her older sister's footsteps, giving birth to a baby girl in the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital, the same location where she and James had their first two children, and where all three Cambridge children were born. Pippa and James welcomed 3-year-old son Arthur in October 2018, and their first daughter, 1-year-old Grace, in March 2021. Pippa first went public with her third pregnancy while attending the party at the Palace concert for Queen Elizabeth's Jubilee weekend in early June. During the concert, where she was accompanied by her husband, brother James Middleton and sister-in-law Eliza Thievnet, the socialite and author was photographed showing her bump. Pippa married Matthews in a grand May 2017 ceremony at St. Mark's Church, Inglefield, Berkshire, near the Middleton family home. The wedding was attended by royals including older sister Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William, Prince Harry, and Princess Beatrice. It came 6 years after Kate married into the royal family and became the Duchess of Cambridge. And according to unearthed reports, Pippa is also set to inherit an aristocratic title in the future. Pippa's father-in-law, David Matthews, is the Laird of Glenafric and owns the 10,000-acre Scottish estate near Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. His eldest son James, Pippa's husband, will inherit the hereditary title upon his death, and Pippa is expected to be bestowed with a title of her own, one that would be recognised in the Commonwealth. Australian art historian Michael Reid told the Daily Mail in 2016, in coming years and particularly as the future Lady Glenafric, Pippa Middleton will be able to entertain lavishly on her husband's grand Scottish Glenafric estate. David, a former mechanic, received his title when he purchased the estate in 2008, but he doesn't use the title as a form of address. As he bought the land for commercial use, David is not a traditional laird. The former racing driver and businessman renovated the entire property shortly after he bought it. It is now made up of multiple luxurious accommodations, including a lavish hotel lodge that guests can rent out. It is therefore possible that he will eventually sell the land instead of handing it down to his son, as he might if it had been in the Matthews family for centuries. If James does inherit the title, he may not choose to formally use it. A laird is a Scottish title that dates back centuries. It was a name for property owners back when Scotland was an independent nation, which allowed them to go to meetings of the Scottish Parliament. They technically aren't members of the aristocracy, like a duke or earl would be, so because of this, a laird wouldn't be called a lord. Therefore, instead of being Lord Glenafric, James will be James Matthews of Glenafric. Until the day James inherits the official title, he can instead use the courtesy title of Mr. Matthews of Glenafric, and Pippa can use Mrs. Matthews of Glenafric. And according to new reports, the couple will take to their new positions like ducks to water, with the pair already working in the hospitality industry. Pippa and James are reportedly looking to develop 77-acre Buckleberry Farm Park, where they already run a petting zoo, a cafe and cabin accommodation for about 30. Detailed plans for what is being built as Pippa's playground seen by the Mail on Sunday, show the intention is to create a busy complex comprising glamping cabins, a farm shop and a restaurant. And according to Michael Reid, Pippa comes from a family who is familiar with vast landed estates. Her great-grandmother Olive Middleton grew up at her family's Potterneton Hall estate, near Leeds, leaving trust funds behind for her descendants.
I remember when we were kids and we'd sneak out with your parents' vodka, playing grass fields, watching stars, yeah, we were collecting memories. So you were my first love, and I wanna know that warmth is coming back around. Oh, flames are sparkling, our eyes connected, radiating the young romance. So now the wildfire inside
on Sunday, show the intention is to create a busy complex comprising glamping cabins, a farm shop and a restaurant. And according to Michael Reed, Pippa comes from a family who is familiar with vast landed estates. Her great-grandmother Olive Middleton grew up at her family's Potterneton Hall estate, near Leeds, leaving trust funds behind for her descendants.